welcome to another edition of After the West. So we've been gone for a couple weeks.
Almost a month.
Yeah,
Been like 3 weeks.
yeah, something like life happens. We got stuff to do.
Yeah, we do. I was just doing surgery on a donut, powdered donut. Rare occasion. I don't eat many donuts, so
And I was out here in these streets getting it in. You know? But we back. We got another show. We got a lot to talk about. There's been a lot happening the past couple weeks that we got a lot to get into. What we gonna get into first? We gonna get into the NFL stuff. Or we gonna get into the nonsense of the Shoe City.
I mean it's all nonsense. So you might as well,
We'll start off with the Shoe City Classic and the nonsense that happened there on that Friday with the shooting that happened, and then the next day, 3 games happens, and then they call it and say it's canceled, which makes absolutely no sense to me because if you're gonna cancel something, cancel it before any games are played at the next day. Because now it just looked like you were looking for a reason to just cancel it.
I mean, that's the city of Lynn. I felt like the city's been dying for a reason to try to shut down the tournament personally. And, because there's so many people involved in the city that help the tournament, but there's so many outsiders that don't even support the tournament that that don't even go to it or even pay any attention, but they just don't like it. And some of the things that happen at the tournament, the atmosphere and things like that. But my thing is, let's just be safe, man. There shouldn't be a reason why any violence should be happening to this extent. A fight's a fight. If you can't win or lose a fight, just walk away from it.
And it happened in like 2 different areas. It happened over there at Marshall's, and then everything's over here at Main Gardens. Normally, every year, little stuff happens, but nothing really.
Well, because people don't realize that's kind of like the meetup. That's the yearly meetup. So if you had a problem with somebody, you ain't see him all year round. You're usually going to run into him at the Gardens tournament.
Yeah.
But you would think, like, cooler heads prevail. You're at a tournament for a purpose to help support the kids, that you can control yourself and hold off.
Yeah. At least for the time being, it's only 3 days, and it happens once a year. And, it was just bad because, so many teams are in it. There's money involved. Think about the teams like that come all the way from Boston and all that, and they put the team together for that, and then they find out, they can't even.
But then I heard they give them the opportunity to play without fans and all that, and I get it. They said no, but I would have just got the tournament done just so it didn't look bad like this, just canceling it. Yeah. So I get it. You want to keep the fans because the fans and supporters, people making food, the venues, the vendors, I get it. They all contribute to the experience of being in the Guidance tournament. But if something happens and they give you a chance to play, just play. Yeah. Just to fulfill your obligation, especially to all those teams that came down.
Yeah, and I just think the way people's behaviors at these games. We saw it firsthand at P2P, like the behaviors of people. If you're gonna go to a summer league game and you're a fan and you have no involvement and you're not playing or you're a coach, just sit there and watch it. Stop like trying to involve yourself in the game. You got cursing at the refs and stuff like that, and then you want people fighting coaches and players. It's like what?
The craziest thing about basketball in the aspect of like we was talking about how basketball is like a sport that there's like a unwritten rule that it can get heated, but we know it's only competition. Yeah. And the people that ruin those things are never the people on the court.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's always saying the same fans and people that want this attention and if you're not even about that life, cut it out just because you got relatives at these events. If you're not about that, just relax. Don't make a big old scene. You almost ruin the event just because you can't handle your emotions, especially when you really had no business being there.
At all. It had not the game had nothing to do with you. Maybe a relative, one of your siblings was playing, but that's your sibling. Let that sibling deal with what happens on the court. If he's getting cooked, he's getting cooked. You can't be out there trying to fight people's battles all the time, especially if you're older. I'm not around here fighting my brother's battles.
Yeah, and too, heated arguments, please watch your mouth. You don't want to speak anything into fruition. And you know me, I'm big on what I say is what I mean. So if I say it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So, and some of y'all got to stop throwing out these terms sounding like y'all sounding so street when you never really been in nothing growing up. Like this generation, there's kids that never been to a fight, and that's okay. Do I agree? Not at all. Because I feel like every kid should be in a fight at one point in their life so they can understand how to handle themselves and knowing to shut your mouth. Because that's how fights usually start, when somebody doesn't know when to stop.
Yeah, and the worst thing about it is, Koki did so much to put that together, and the city isn't even behind him on it like that. And then when that happens, and then you got the cops coming in, and then what do you think's gonna happen moving forward? They're definitely not gonna get behind it.
For one, shame on that ref Peter. I don't know his last name. He's a so you can blank that out if you want, whatever. Like he's a whole, yeah, he's a whole. Like for him to even, for one, I wouldn't even let a man like that even be in that situation. He's a dweeb from like the suburbs. Like he got no business even being around that type of energy. Could you see what happens? Dina got a little heated, and Dina's like a taller version of Gandhi. He got a little mad, and this dude got called a game, and they know each other. Yeah. You know what I mean? Dina's been around for years. The dude Peter's been around for years. Granted, he's the worst ref around, but he's been around. They should have got Lou or something like Lou could handle himself. And to be honest, I get it. You get refs based on the timing and who's available, but you got to find some refs that can handle these things. Just don't get any Joe Schmo just because they got a striped shirt. I know some refs. I can put y'all on to some refs. That's some real people. But we also got to we have to organize everything so there's no problems at all.
Yeah. And you know when you said when we were walking in, and I pointed out, I'm like, oh, this is about to be a long day. When I saw him as a ref, I told you, and I said, yeah, this is about to be a long day. And you was like, oh yeah, and we both agreed.
And that's the second ref I've seen call a game before it was even have a chance for the outcome to be determined. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to finish the job, ref. Especially if you got paid, you got to finish the job.
Cities, get behind these people trying to have these events. The Goddess tournament. The Goddess tournament been around for so long. Dave Ellis used to be part of the event because it used to be the Dave Ellis tournament.
Yep.
So I don't understand what happened, but I guarantee you if the city support these tournaments, there'll be a better outcome, there'll be more support, there'll be less problems. But when you got an isolated group holding these tournaments, of course it's going to be a problem because everybody's not involved to help. So I want to say, city, get behind these people. You know what I mean? And bring your kids down. It could be bigger than just the Gardens. It could be a whole city-wide North Shore type event if you want to make it there.
And the crazy thing is people always look forward to it. People not even from the city, people outside of the city, even people out of state, they actually come around for that tournament just because it's some entertaining basketball. So, yeah, can't ruin a good thing. Can't ruin a good thing. You know, the NFL never gets it right. You know, they're always ruining things. And Deshaun Watson only got 6 games. He only got suspended 6 games. The league is trying to get 12 games, but they're in like talks or whatever. They want more games, but yeah, 6 games seems like a slap on the wrist, especially when it's a 17 game season or 18 game season. When they added that, it's like, oh, and he got all that money too.
The climate we're in regards to social justice, women and their rights, they dropped it completely. Yeah. They just show they don't even care. They don't care. But how much did Ben get? Like 3 games?
I think.
And he's a repeated offender. I'll be honest, we thought it was going to be a year. I don't even understand how this is even a topic of discussion.
Yeah. And especially when the fact that they settled too. They were settling.
So meaning you were at fault.
Yeah.
When you paying people, mean you did something wrong.
Yeah.
Compared to you denying all this beforehand. Mm-hmm. So now that you know you're wrong, you admitted to it. Yeah, you should have to sit out for the whole year, because it wasn't like 1, 2, 5. It was like 17 to 20 to 30. The numbers was dropping in
like 50. It was like every week the number doubled.
Well, yeah. So it's like, nah, that's unacceptable. Hey, you're supposed to be a role model. Supposed to be upstanding citizen, supposed to be a man. You know what I mean? So it's just, I don't agree with none of this.
We get suspended more days in school. We got suspended more days in school for minor stuff and this. And you would think with all like the legal issues that's been going on with NFL teams and like how they've their treatment of women in the workplace and all that, you would think that would take into accountability to hold these, you know, the players accountable. You know, the owners and GMs, they're never held accountable and stuff. They punish themselves and stuff. But you think like the commissioner would have a better stronghold, because I remember he used to fine or suspend people for just like the smallest of things, and now like
this stuff. The world go around even faster. Think about it. The money is worth more now, and we're seeing it more and more. Like the dollar really controls almost everything, and it's getting worse because there's way more outlets we can see how it interferes with everything. Yeah. But I don't know how much leg room the NFL thinks they have. They keep doing these things, disrespecting the people, but these people support your brand. At some point, you either gonna get behind these ladies or they're gonna destroy your league. Cause I'll be honest, like my mom love football. You know what I mean? It's just I know a lot of people, women that love supporting football. But if you don't support them, why would they support you?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, especially when they do stuff like that. So I mean, they're aiming to get more games out of it, like 12. But I think a lot of people were shocked it was only 6 because we all thought he was gonna be done for
the whole season.
Yeah.
Think about it. Every man that plays in the NFL was birthed by a woman. So why don't you hold them in high regard? They should be like Egyptian goddesses. Like women should be held up as like goddesses, bro. Like an American goddess. Because why? Without them, there'd be no people. So I don't understand why we're even having this stupid conversation. Because I just feel like it's dumb. Like, no, not us. But it's like why is this still a worldly issue?
Yeah. And it doesn't help that they suspended Calvin Ridley for a year for gambling, but gambling's legal now. Betting's legal now.
Because you went against the shield. You went against the shield. That's the only reason why he got a year.
Pulled a Pete Rose.
But you got people that are making women feel uncomfortable, damn near psychologically, you know what I mean, damaging them, and he only gets a couple games. You're crazy. That's wild.
Wild. All right. Our preseason kicked off last week. The Pats kicked off their preseason against the Giants. It was confusion still with the Pats and like the offense and what's going on. Who's going to be calling the offense? Who's the offensive coordinator? You got like offensive coordinator by committees and stuff like that. I mean, it was everything you expect from a preseason game. Some of the guys, the younger guys, stepped up and played this quarterback Zap. He 205 showed some stuff, but the Patriots' biggest question coming into the season is their offense. There's a lot of confusion with their offense, and like what's going on, and it's all keying into who's going to be calling the plays.
I mean, they got two or three more games to figure that out.
There's 2 preseason games.
Only 2 completely?
No, I'm sorry. Two
more.
more.
All right. So, I mean, I feel like they try certain things in these preseason games to see what's going to work, but I'm sure Belichick will figure it out by the time the season starts.
He need to figure it out because they need to have a way better offense than they had last year, especially with the teams in their division that got all these offensive guys. I mean, the Bills still probably going to be the best team in the division. The Dolphins added speed in their secondary. Just those 2 teams. I mean, the Jets, that's 2 guaranteed wins right there because it's the Jets. But
I don't know about the Dolphins, man, but we'll see.
I don't know about you just get Tyreek Hill and you got Jalen Waddle. You got a lot of speed.
It's like, but the thing is, they're coming from places where they weren't that fun. So when you go to Miami, you might get distracted. Come Kansas City, like, what's it to do out there? To shovel snow and shiver. So with that being said, I'm hoping they get distracted the first year with Miami and let Mac Jones get better.
You don't know if they get distracted at just the way if they're like 1-3 or 1-4 and then you start seeing them coming out games like not interested. They was out the night before. Or
I'm
it was out.
to be 1-4. I'm expecting that to happen. Yep, sure enough.
Mac Jones didn't play. He didn't play in the preseason game. They only used the backups.
Yeah, he's a Pro Bowler, man. Of course
they
not.
ain't play. So their next
Put him in there.
their next preseason game is actually on Friday. They're playing against the Panthers, and the 2 teams are having joint practices this whole week. And joint practices are always interesting because a fight always breaks out when you have 2 teams practicing together.
I don't agree with joint practices. I agree with like a couple scrimmages.
Yeah, I think if they do those joint practices leading up to like a preseason game.
That's why I don't like it. Like you can be in the same vicinity, same venue, but nah, get like a scrimmage and then you get your preseason game because you're just asking for, you know what I mean, headlines and what do you call them things?
Clickbaits?
Yeah, clickbaits and all that. But I feel like that's part of why they do that, so they can have something to talk about too. So
Yeah, and it's like to, I guess, spice things up in the off season.
I mean,
but there's always a fight. Every time there's a joint practice, there's always a fight.
you got teammates going at it. So what would you expect with an opponent?
I know you get tired of seeing your teammates all the time. So now you see an opponent. He's like, all right.
Bro, there's one dude got kicked out of practice for starting like 3-4 fights. He was like a rookie or something like that. Dude, maniac. I'm all about it, but Jesus, like, It's too hot out there.
Telling you, man. Yeah.
Double sessions and stuff.
I'm telling
Wow.
you. Yeah. I remember when I played football in high school, we had. I think every scrimmage we had a fight broke out. And every scrimmage we had, it was legit a fight would break out for like a good 5 to 10 minutes.
I could see that, especially with the football players from East Lynn. Us Lynn kids, we got some issues, bro. We got attitudes, like beyond attitudes, man. I totally understood.
Oh man, let's go some NBA news. All right, Bill Russell passed away
Yeah, man.
a couple of weeks ago. He was like, there's only one remaining Celtic from like those teams left, and that's Cousy.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
And because Sam Jones, it was like Sam Jones died, Tommy Heinsohn died, someone else died. It was all like year after year after year. It was just kind of crazy. And now Bill Russell died. It was.
You getting a statue somewhere?
I think he already got a statue in Boston, the Bill Russell statue over there by City Hall.
Washington.
Yeah, he
all
do.
His, you know what I mean? All his work, philanthropist, changing the, you know what I mean? He was everywhere, bro. He was everywhere. He needed.
And they announced they're gonna retire his number league wide, which they should have done years ago.
Oh, Dr. J and then LeBron. So he kind of.
Yeah, they got to retire league wide, which is a good thing. But yeah, it was like Bill Russell. He stood for more. He stood for a lot, and he endured a lot, and it was just cool just for him and Kareem and some of those guys who like laid the foundation to still be around to see how the league has flourished and how the league has just like transcended worldwide, because they were still taking charter flights or even buses.
It's like the league is getting better, but the people aren't. Talk about in the world. Because, like, we live in a world where it's so sensitized and so sensitive that, like, they would have cried and not went to work if they endured what Bill Russell endured. They would have quit. They would have, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, he couldn't quit because he wouldn't be able to have the job that he had with the opportunities he had. So he had to endure endure those things. So I felt like this world today needs to take a page out of his book in regards to just persevering and enduring and stop crying about minor things and stop allowing yourself to be treated like a little baby, even though the world allows you to act that way. That makes sense. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. So it was like that day when they announced it. It was like a feeling like everything's just like weird, and
I mean, I've been feeling like that for the past couple of weeks.
yeah, it was.
So,
That's how it was.
Just added more to it. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
sir. Sad Bill Russell passed away, but it's good he was able to see everything in the league and the changes that's happened in the league.
And he lived a great life too, man.
Great life.
How old was he?
88.
88 years old. Yeah, man. Lived a great life, man.
Great life. All right. NBA released they started releasing schedules and stuff. They put this Christmas Day lineup on because, the NBA officially starts on Christmas because that's when everybody really starts watching. And the only issues people have with this schedule is why are the Knicks slated for Christmas Day's game instead of like the Hawks and the T-Wolves, who got like players that you actually want to watch and players that are exciting, but
It's the
being in
arena.
New York and
It's just the arena. It's just who they playing.
that
would be interesting to see who they're playing.
they're playing Philly. Right? If you're gonna put them on, at least put them on.
That's their conference foe. Like that's the division foe. Like nobody wants to see division games on Christmas. At least make it into like conference games or something. Like have like the Clippers over there or something like.
But they kind of messed up because Trae Young is like public enemy number 1 at Madison Square Garden. Why not put the Hawks and the Knicks there? Because everybody's gonna want to see that just because the Knicks fans booing Trae Young and all that.
I don't know, bro. I don't pay the Knicks any attention whatsoever.
Nobody does. Nobody does. But some of the other games will be Milwaukee and Boston, the Lakers and the Mavericks, Phoenix against the Nuggets, and Warriors and the Grizzlies, which some exciting games. Those are going to be some exciting ones. It's just that Philly-New York one is just the one that kind of it's kind of like blah.
I might watch it. I'll be honest. I'm big on just playoff basketball now. Because even the season's so watered down now, you don't even know who's even playing. You don't even know who's even going to show up on the court.
Right? Whoever, what is it? Taking their rest days, using their comp time, using their comp time and stuff like that. Other basketball news: Liz Cambage She decided to step away from the league. I don't know why, but it's just an interesting time. It's like the season's going on, playoffs is coming soon, and you decide to step away. And she made a lot of headlines for the wrong reasons the past couple years. Remember, she called the Nigerian players monkeys.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
I mean, for one, she's Australian, so we don't understand why they just be quitting on teams in the middle of the season.
Forgot about your disdain for Australians.
Like, and thing is, I got no problem with Australians, but like when they come over here and they're high-profile people, they do some weird stuff. They just be quitting on people all the time. And I support Liz because I follow her. Like, she does a lot of things outside of basketball. She's a big, beautiful woman, but like, I don't understand what's going on in that water over there. They got big old spiders.
Her and Ben Simmons related or something?
They're
showing
the same height.
characteristics.
Both tall as hell. But nah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's something in the water, bro.
They both showing the same traits. Like, it says, well, I'll miss rocking the purple and gold. I'll be taking this time to focus on my healing and personal growth before providing clarification on past rumors.
I don't care about who's talking about you. But my thing is, they paid you that money, you was going to just say, all right, I'm out of here. That's my whole thing. It's like, they paid you for a service to a certain extent. You could play somewhat part of the season. Did she even play this year? I didn't even see you out there at all.
Oh, shoot. Well, maybe this might be another reason. So, it was on July 26th. She left. So, I mean, they lost 8 of their last 9. I don't know why she left. Who knows?
And I don't know. I'm not super. I'm big on mental health. I'm big on people taking their time away, but I'm not big on just all of a sudden like I'm mentally drained. You never heard me say that. I don't know how I'm mentally drained, bro. Just certain things I just don't understand. So like, and just because the world's letting you be this type of person doesn't mean you have to be.
Yeah. At least just finish out the season. You got all the off-season time to get your mental health together.
Bro, you know how many teams I played on growing up, some AU teams I wanted to quit because I played with some kids that sucked. They didn't want to win. My mom was like, nah, you got to fulfill your duty and fight through it. So I just averaged 30. And just became very selfish. Made sure I had fun.
Yeah.
Because them kids didn't care about having fun.
Facts. Facts. So, I mean, wish you the best, but woo. Lastly, before the Athletes Corner, Serena Williams is set to retire. Going down. It's like 23 years because she made her debut in 1999.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, 1999. It's like 23 years, 23 like titles. I think U.S. Opens and stuff like that. And she still gets underappreciated, and people still try to put other players over her that she waxed every time.
She's a strong black woman. When do they ever promote those type of people? Yeah. So with that being said, and she's like very strong, powerful. She's a role model to every black woman in America. So, they're always trying to backhand compliment that, throw some salt on it, like, even though we taste delicious with salt. Some of y'all need some salt on y'all. Some seasoning as if you don't know what I'm saying. But she should have retired. She was looking bad. She was getting injured. Body can't hold up.
Yeah.
Skill wasn't diminishing.
Gone,
her
yeah.
body just couldn't keep up.
Yeah, and when you have a child and stuff, when she don't.
I don't know.
No, I mean, we don't know about having children.
I helped usher one into the world. I didn't push one out, Mook. I'm sorry.
Let me rephrase that. When women have children, their body changes. Yep. I'm sure that also had to do a lot with it because of the recovery time from that. And then, she also played when she was pregnant and stuff and still was dominating. I think she's done all she can.
Didn't they give her a hard time for being pregnant?
They gave her a hard time for anything. They gave her a hard time for sea walking after a win. Yeah, pretty much. So they gave her a hard time for anything. But it's still undeniable. She's going down as probably the best tennis player ever, male or female, male or women.
Hope she also changes tennis a little bit. They need some more color. They need to loosen up. Their rules I like playing tennis. I'm out at tennis, but they need to loosen some things up to make it so other coaches want to be welcome to want to join it. Like,
yeah.
Make it cheaper too.
Yeah, some of these sports is expensive. Coco's number one. Coco Gauff, she's number one right now. So that's a Serena tree right there.
That's
Yeah.
I'm over here like, she ain't Serena.
But she's probably one of those girls that
Yeah, hopefully.
So, but congrats to her. Like the prize money was like 53 million for the U.S. Open.
I'm not surprised.
And she won it like 23 times.
Is it the same every year though? Because
I
the
think-
money back in '99 ain't nowhere near as it is 2022.
I don't know what it was in '99, but it probably was a lot. But
It was a lot.
But just say the last 15 years, it was like damn.
But also too, does the amount of money increase based on who's in the tour? Like who's, because she's the reason why it's big money. Let's be real. Her and Venus, a couple other golfers, a couple other tennis players.
Yeah. But yeah, congrats to Serena. I think they're still having whatever thing's happening right now. I can't think off the top of my head, but there's some new tournament happening now that she's involved and she's playing in. We gonna go to Athletes Corner. So I was gonna wait to drop this interview. This is with Worcester Academy guard Tre Norman. I was gonna wait for a couple weeks, but I was like, after the performance he put on at the Let It Fly Classic over the weekend, I was like, you know what? Let's just drop this one this week. Check this Athletes Corner out, and we're gonna come back. All right, and welcome to another edition of Athletes Corner. And today we got superstar Tre Norman in the building. How are you doing, man?
Chilling, living life.
Yeah, man, you had quite the summer, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, let's talk about EYBL for a second before we get into everything, man. You went up there, had a good showing down there in Augusta. Is it Augusta or Savannah? Augusta, right? Just talk to me about the whole EYBL, the whole this AAU circuit for you this year.
That was my last year. Last year I played with 17s, and I was doing all right, but it wasn't the numbers I was doing this year. And I missed my last session before Peace Jam, and because I got hurt. But I just wanted to go out there and I don't know, go crazy, let these people know what it is, and I did that, but. I mean, they still sleep us, whatever.
yeah, it's good. And they've with that, you got a lot of recognition. You were trending a lot during that time with your performance and your team's performance. What was the strength of your team, the BABC team this year?
Just staying together. I mean, through the year, our team was kind of put together. It's like we had some guys in the beginning who didn't end up finishing. We had injuries and new guys we had to pick up. So. I mean, we did good our season, but it could have been better. But there was stuff that we couldn't control. But towards the end, we were just focused on locking in on defense and offense. But we went on a little run towards the end at Peace Jam, and we lost like 2 games, it was like 5-2. 5-2. So yeah, we really locked in at the end. It was my last time I played with them. A lot of those guys forever. So it was fun.
What was the biggest takeaway that you took from that experience?
That basketball is a lot of politics, and I can't stress over stuff I can't control. If I go out and go 30-10, I mean, people are gonna care, but if they don't, it's not my problem. I did what I had to do.
Did you feel like you were more so putting people on notice of the players, the ballers that Boston has? Because I think, me personally, I think just this whole region. They sleep. The whole nation sleeps on this region in Massachusetts basketball. Did you feel like that you were one of the guys that were just letting everybody know that there's hoopers out here?
Yeah, that's a fact. Especially in Boston, there's a lot of kids out here who don't have an opportunity to show what they got. Either they don't play for a good high school, or they don't have a AAU team who's like on a circuit. So there's a lot of kids, a lot of my friends in the city who really like that on the floor, and they don't really get a chance to show that. So me going out there, just like you said, lets everybody know that we got some talent in Boston.
And now let's go back a couple years, 2-time state champ at Tech Boston, where you started. Describe those 2 years for you. Describe those 2 years and just that run that your team had.
It was great. I was there 3 years from my 8th grade to my sophomore year, and towards the end of my 8th grade year, that when they won, I was there, but I wasn't playing, but I was still around them and stuff. And then we won again, and then we won the cities my 3rd year. It was just great, the environment. Every night in the gym. It's a BPS gym. It's not like no fancy facility. It's really just trench work in there. And it was hot, got some older guys, Lyron Bennett, Shamar Browder, Alan Nunez, all the guys who was on my team was older, really just taught me how to work. Keys, all of them. It was late nights. We was in there for a lot of hours, just getting some work in and getting better.
Yeah, I felt like when I talked to then Brighton coach Huey Coleman, he said during that span when they won their titles, it was the Boston City League was so competitive, and it was just like it was a switch each time. It was like they were the top guns. Yeah. Then you guys were aiming for them. Then you guys got them, and you guys became the top guns. Was that just the joy that you took in that competition in that league?
I mean, since I've been at Tech Boston, we was the top guns. They was top guns before I got there, but I ain't never had to shy down from no team. We was winning everything. So, the competition in BPS was good. I don't know. I just know we was winning a whole lot when I was there.
And did you feel like that made the tournament a lot easier because of the tournament, the run that you guys had?
Nah, because the more and more we won, the more we knew teams were going to really be aiming for us and really trying to take us down. So our coach told us no matter what, like we was going to have a target on our back. Even if we lost the game, people still want to beat Tech Boston, the back-to-back state champion, city champion. They want to beat us. So, put a lot more pressure on us because we knew we had to win. Like, there was no losing.
Yeah, and then what you talked about those older guys that helped you out, and what are some things that you learned from them that's kind of helped you to this day?
Be tough not to cry about stuff because you ain't gonna get it. Especially at Tech Boston, we had first five, second five, and that first five, everything was going their way. There's no foul calls. There's none of that. You're gonna have to fight, and there's a lot of times where we actually fought. Feel me? So it is what it is. But they definitely taught me all the energy I got on the floor and the aggressiveness that everybody talks about here and there. That's all from them.
Yeah. When did you start noticing? When did you realize that your name started to buzz? Your name started to get out there. What point did you realize that?
I don't even know. To be honest, it kind of just happens fast. Like goes like 1 second I'm one of these young kids in Boston who's like, looking up to all the older guys, TC and stuff, and the next moment I'm in their shoes. So it kind of just. I don't know. I haven't really found that moment that was like, damn, you feel me? So.
Did because sometimes when it comes so fast, when the stuff comes at you so fast, it kind of gets overwhelming for some people. Did it get overwhelming for you, or were you just like, or were you just like taking it in and just trying to focus on basketball?
There was some moments where it's like, damn, like I made it this far, but like I can't get in that mindset for too long because like I'm nowhere close to where I want to be. And I have a lot of good support around me, like with my friends and mentors and parents and family and stuff like that. So they help me, keep my head straight, and my coaches too.
Yeah, that's always a good thing to have. And when you made that decision to go to Worcester to attend Worcester Academy, what came about in that decision? What was some of the things that you thought about and talked about with your coaches and your family?
Just more so the better opportunities that they were gonna provide, just more exposure, playing better competition in practice, and like during the games. I was really hesitant. This was before COVID, so I didn't know COVID was gonna hit. Yeah. Thank God I was lucky enough to transfer it before, and we didn't have a season, but I was still, having open runs with college coaches in front of me and stuff like that. So. It all worked out for the best, but yeah, I was hesitant at first. I didn't want to leave my guys. I was really big on trying to show people in the city that you could make it without having to go to a prep school, but things didn't work out that way. But I'm here now, so they still can look up to something.
And your group is kind of in a unique position because you guys had to deal with COVID. Yeah. A lot of kids like in your class had to deal with COVID, missing a whole season or having like a shortened season. What was some of the things you learned from that, or what did you do during that time? I know you said you had some open runs, but what did you do during that time?
it really taught me how not to take basketball for granted. Because it's like when COVID hit, I was doing online school at home, so I was here in Boston. But the courts, the gyms were locked down, and I wasn't who I am today, so I didn't really have as many connections back then. So it's like people, the elite guys, were getting private runs and stuff and working out, but I wasn't. I was really outside in the courts, anywhere we can find. Like me and my guys was on blue bikes, just riding around town, just trying to find courts. We'll poop at one court one day, the next day we come back, they took the nets off or something like that. They locked the net up, and we got to go somewhere else. So I was really it really showed me how much I love basketball, how much I really want to play, and just how not to take it for granted.
Did that also give you, with them doing the stuff with the hoops, like locking them down or putting stuff over it, did it give you a chance to just work on your handles and other aspects?
Yeah, nah, that's a fact, because I was staying with my dad in Hyde Park, and he has like a driveway, and me and my guy Jamal, we was just really in the backyard just ball handling for like the whole summer, and then I eventually ended up buying a hoop, and like I had to put it together with my brother, and like it was cold as, but nah, anything we could find, we was doing field work, all of that, anything we can do, we was doing.
Yeah, definitely. You could kind of see it too with certain players. We could see which players took advantage of not being able to shoot, but being able to do other things, because it's so easy to get lazy and just be like, all right, well, I'm not gonna do nothing. The season y'all had at Worcester Academy, you won the conference. You just go, and everywhere you go, you're just winning. I mean, and it was quite the game that you guys played. It came down to like the final seconds, correct? Yeah, I saw that game online, but just being in it with that crowd and everybody in the building for that one, describe just that moment.
It was a great moment. That whole playoffs series was all of our games were at home, fortunately. So every night was a packed out crowd, and it was just got bigger and bigger and bigger. So by the time I hit the championship game, it was just like I knew our support was out the gym. It was just crazy. It got to the point where any bucket we had, it was like I couldn't hear anything. Like it was so loud. It was a force.
Was that comforting though? Because these are the type of moments you live for.
That's exactly what it was. Because when we was down at half, and we went into the locker room, and I was telling him, I was like, bro, if you don't play basketball for stuff like this, then I don't know what you're playing for. Because that whole crowd was basically our fans, and it was like, come on, there's no way we're about to lose a championship game at our gym. It don't make no sense. So,
yeah. And the prep school season is so long, different from the normal public school system, because you guys play about like 40, 50 games or something like that. You described traveling around the country, going up against all these other top prep schools, not even in New England, but around the nation. I mean, did you enjoy just the traveling aspect of it, going to different states, seeing other courts and all that?
Well, when it's high school, we don't go state to state as much. Like that's more like AAU, EYBL, but I mean, every game that we had that was at home was probably like an hour drive or 2-hour drive, so it was smooth. But yeah, AAU is more so when we really start traveling, taking flights and stuff, going places.
Mm-hmm. And your recruitment picked up. You've been traveling to a lot of schools, getting visits and calls from the schools. What's the one program where you went and visited, you were just like taken away by just the facilities, the campus, or any of that?
I've only been on one visit, so I mean, I've only been to Marquette, but it was great over there. It was a nice vibe. Everything about it was nice. I've been unofficial to Brown. That was nice too. Saw my guy Aaron Cooley. It was. I mean, anytime I go to college, it's nice, cause it's like, who would have thought that? Yeah. You feel me? So it's like, yeah, anytime I can't be picky. I'm just taking in the moment, to be honest.
Yeah. Do you have any more visits lined up before you make your decision?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Rutgers, sometime like early September, like the 1st or the 2nd, something like that. But yeah, that's about it.
And then you also got your decision day coming up too. Is that one thing you want to do? Just get that out the way before the season started, or is that just how things turned out to be?
I wanted to commit before the season started, and I always knew I wanted to commit sometime in like September, and it just so happened that TC's birthday is a perfect time, beginning of September, get it out the way and just focus on the season and just getting better. So I was like, that's probably a blessing that I could be able to do that on his birthday on a Tuesday at the Topa Community Center. So it's nothing better than that.
I know, and you talked about TC a lot. Terrence Clark, for those that don't know, I mean, seeing his rise, and then how it just got cut short. But you and a lot of kids, they knew him and saw him how he was a big inspiration for a lot of the young hoopers behind him. Describe your relationship with him and just how he was able to help you develop as a player.
I'm not gonna. Oh, snap. I'm not gonna Jack, like, he was my best friend and like I hung out with him all the time. But like, the guys he did hang with all the time, I was cool with them, seen him a lot. He lived in Rosendale. I lived in Rosendale for a while, so I see him all the time going to school and stuff. And he's a local guy. You just know him. He hooped with him, played for Expressions. I'd be around those guys. Just feel me. Got to the point where it's just I see him dap him. What's the word? We chop it up and stuff like that. So he was close enough for me to be doing what I'm doing now to live on his legacy.
Was he like kind of like the first person you saw getting that attention and that level of play, knowing that he's gonna get there?
Yeah, because all the other guys, like, Baz and all of them, they were before me. Like, when they was coming up, I was a baby. I ain't know nothing about that. So, he was the only person I really watched, like, just go through those steps and really become just one of those kids into being, 5-star, Kentucky and all of that. So, it was definitely motivation to see him be able to do that.
Yeah, and also this summer you did play in a lot of tournaments. You guys were at the Boston Hoop Fest, played in a few tournaments. Talk about summer runs in Boston, because at BNBL as well. Summertime basketball in Boston is so intense and so much people. It draws a big crowd. Can you describe that for people that's never experienced that?
It's just a great time, even if you're not hooping. Like, sometimes I don't even be going to play basketball because it's like, feel me? But it's just a great environment. The whole community's out. You got people serving food, beverages. You got the kids running around, and then you got the early games with like the high schoolers, and then it gets to them late nights where it's like the grown men playing for like money and stuff. And it's just a great environment. It's nothing but just everybody's trying to compete, everybody's trying to win, and it's nothing better than that. I was telling my friend the other day that it's going to those tournaments is just something different.
Yeah, and for you and your friends too, all with that same drive to play basketball and to go at the next level. How happy are you that you guys are making each other better and also, keeping each other accountable, because you do want each other to succeed and get to that level, whether it's Division I, Division II, or Division III, just to get a chance to play college basketball?
I'm just blessed that I could, have the group of friends that I got. They like my brothers. They, like you said, keep me accountable. They in the gym with me. And even if they're not, feel me, they still doing stuff that's positive, feel me? And that's all I can ask for. They around, I'm around. Anytime I could be around, I'm with them. So there's nothing more I can ask for.
Yeah, definitely. You talked about it, Decision Day, September 6th, the Tobin Center? The Tobin Community Center in Boston. Well, besides that, what else you got lined up before the school year starts and your season starts? You got Let It Fly? You playing in that?
Yeah, Let It Fly next weekend. I got New York versus Boston on Friday, and then just got some BNBL stuff.
Is that New York versus Boston here, or
Nah,
is
it's
in
in
New
New
York?
York, yeah.
Is it always in New York, or
Yeah.
they don't try to rotate?
I think they do sometimes, but the only times I've been there has been New York.
At Rucker?
Yeah, but this time it's at Dykeman.
That should be a fun time. Let them know. Plug in your social media pages, anything. Let them know where they can find you.
Instagram, TR3_norms, and Twitter, Tre Norman 04, and that's about it.
All right.
And go follow my man's U Bucks on YouTube, U Bucks YOU Bucks, and Instagram. Oh God, greatest artist out.
Got the plug right there. Make sure he can put that plug in. Make sure you check them out. Make sure when Worcester Academy comes around in the Boston area for their games, make sure you check them out. This is a good team, so make sure you check them out, support them. Good luck on your decision. Good luck on everything. I'll see you at Let It Fly Classic because I'll be there filming, so I will be in the building, man. Congratulations, man. Thank you for coming on. You guys been watching Athletes Corner. Have a good one. We are back. Thank you, Tre, for that. As I said in the interview, September 6th, he's making his announcement day, and he chose that because that's Terrence Clark's birthday. That's why he chose September 6th. He's making his decision on what school he's gonna go to. Okay. He chose that day because that's Terrence Clark's birthday and stuff like that. So it was like,
Nah, that's dope. Yeah. That's dope. Nah, that's real support, man. That's just cool.
Like that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But yeah. Check it, Tre. Thank you, Tre, for that. We got some good interviews coming up. All right, let's get into our baseball update real quick. I mean, I don't know if the Red Sox gonna make the playoffs. They're 57 and 59, but
What, they going on a losing streak?
but they won 2 out of 3 against the Yankees
All right, I'll take that.
and another walk-off.
Oh, I'll take that too.
Another walk-off and another positive. The Yankees have lost like 9 out of their last 11 games.
Yeah, but aren't they still first?
No, I think they're behind. They're behind Houston.
Behind.
They're behind Houston right now, I believe, in the standings.
So we got a chance for the wild card?
Yeah.
No. No. we do not. I just happen to
No,
Not at all.
no, we don't.
Yep.
We don't. It's yeah, man. I was talking to somebody when I was out of town, and we was talking baseball, and I was just letting them know. I was like, when the Patriots win, it's cool. When the Celtics win, it's cool. When the Bruins win, it's cool. But when the Red Sox are losing, just don't talk to nobody. Just don't talk. If you come here and you look and you see the Red Sox are losing or people giving you an attitude, it's because the Red Sox are losing.
And the crazy thing about it is, they don't even have to be Red Sox fans. You could be like, yo, the Red Sox lost. They're gonna be, Jesus Christ. Just because we support the Red Sox.
I don't know what it is, but whenever the Red Sox lose, it's like angry time. Everybody is mad. Everybody want to fight somebody. It's just Red Sox losing is not good for people here at all. At all. And it's also not good for the weather, even though the weather's been a little, but. And there you have it. and there you have it. Before we get into some of these highlights we got coming up, we already knew this because we had inside information. We just didn't want to say it, but we had inside information. Jonell, he made his decision it's July 23rd or something like that. He's going to the University of Georgia, and we both knew that. We both knew that beforehand because we had inside information tell us. But congratulations to him, man. That's big for him.
Yo, I told his bro, stop playing. I'd walk on. I try to get on the roster. He said they asked a couple questions, and I mean, he got our eligibility. I'm telling him now. I would definitely say go up there with your brother for a year and see if you like it, man. Find a job up there, make sure he's straight.
Yeah.
Kind of like how, what's my man from Memphis name? He played with Tony senior year. Shoot behind his head.
I forget his name.
Oh, he kind of had like the Tyreek Evans.
Oh.
He had like a little a group of people. You know, the Derrick Rose when he was at Memphis. They had people that stayed with him to make sure they kept him on track. And they're so close. I told him, why don't you go up there with him? You know what I mean?
Right.
And find a little opportunity, like a little gig up there.
Yeah, man.
Can't hurt. And who knows, it might pan out for you.
Yeah. It don't even have to be football. He be out there working anyways.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But he's older anyways.
Yeah.
So.
He be working out. He be doing stuff. He be doing stuff. He ain't lazy. I tell you that.
Shoot, he might get a spot on there. I'm just saying, seize the opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. So, congratulations to Jonell with that. Babe Ruth, they're in the Lynn Babe Ruth 15U. They're in the Little League World Series. They're down there in Virginia. I believe. I don't know if their games should be on TV, but I think they play today. By the time this interviews come out, they probably already played. This show comes out, they probably already played. But yeah, I think they play today.
Y'all better get a W. Because I remember when Saugus was out there winning.
Yeah.
Saugus looking crazy when I was driving to the mall. I was like, Jesus.
Right.
I want to be able to experience that for y'all.
Yeah, if they win, we gonna wild out here.
Just win a couple games at least.
A couple. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, let's get into some highlights. There's a lot of highlights on this one. I don't know if all of them will make the show, but we're going to see which one makes it and which one doesn't. First up, we got Let It Fly Classic. Man, this was actually keep saying it gets bigger and bigger every year. This one, it was a full house in there. It was packed, so check these highlights out. are back. All right, man. Yeah, let it fly. If you weren't there, go to my YouTube channel. I got all the games. There were 8 games. I got all them games up there. You want to see the one game where Northeastern commit got dunked on by an incoming high school freshman. It was pretty bad. Pretty bad.
I seen it.
Yeah.
It happens.
It does happen, but because that game, it was like, in the game, it's like, and then that happened, and then the whole momentum of that game changed. It was a close game. It was like legit a 2-point game. Turned into like a 20-point victory right after that play.
It'd be like that, man.
And then some guy wanted to say, oh, it's just 2 points. I don't like storming on the court. I'm like,
I mean, that's why he probably stayed seated, right? I mean, I wouldn't have stormed on the court either, but let the kids enjoy their time.
That only happens in tournaments. It don't happen during regular high school basketball season because you gonna get kicked out. You do that.
Yeah, they try.
Yeah.
They be trying.
All right, here's some P2P highlights. It was championship day on Sunday. We was there for majority of it, and then we had to leave because we just had to leave. But check these out. And we are back. Okay, lights out gym, summer league, championship. Malden Catholic repeated. They're back. They haven't lost a game in that summer league in 2 years. Like since they went undefeated last year, undefeated again this year.
You might need to remind Dave. I'm just saying. Who coming to St. Mary's doing that thing? I don't know about that. They start new trends again. Oh, man. Get it together, man. Get it together, St. Mary's. Come on.
Yeah, St. Mary's lost to Charlestown in the Final Four. Yeah, they lost to Charlestown in the Final Four. And then, yeah.
Get it together. Get it together.
But check these out. Check these out. And we're going to come back and do our first top 10 of the year of this new football season. And we are back. I was just telling him stuff off the air. As a St. Mary's alum, he just put his head down.
certain standard we held ourselves to all year round, not just during the season, man. It was all year round. Like,
You know, that's the best part about alums when you tell them about their schools and they're not happy with what they hear. It's always the same thing. Hands on the face and head down.
like, come on, man.
Oh, man. Oh, we've come to an end. We have come to the end of our program. It's another day. Me and Todd. We'll be back. I think we'll be back in the studio next week. It's been a crazy couple weeks here at LCTV. They got a lot of stuff happening in the studio, so I think we probably be back in the studio next week with the voice in the sky, Pedro. I know y'all here. I know y'all miss him. Before we get out of here, happy birthday to my grandma tomorrow. Tomorrow's her birthday. She's about to join the 88 Club.
Yeah, happy birthday,
tomorrow. Also, happy birthday to my cousin. Tomorrow's her birthday as well. Yesterday was my homie Yvonne's birthday. And then like last week was her son's birthday. He turned 4. It was a lot of birthdays. My boy Vance, his birthday was yesterday as well. And a lot of August birthdays.
I don't think I got any August birthdays. I don't know.
Shoot. Yeah, that's I don't know. I don't know too many August birthdays apparently. Also, rest in peace, Suddy.
Yeah, man. Definitely rest in peace to Jamal.
One of my memories with Suddy at Colley Park, him and Danny playing 1-on-1. I don't know if he was there.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, him and Danny was playing 1-on-1. He caught Danny on a bang out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a hilarious day over there at the park. It was those times when we was just all at the park. All there, just
No, we spent
the whole day.
We spent many hours at the park. You know, I always ran to Jamal. He's, he's my little cousin's his oldest daughter. So I made sure she was all right. I actually saw her a couple of days ago. She's in the best spirit she could be, man. You know, just we gotta do better as a community. You got problems with anybody, sit down, talk about it, or just avoid each other. There's no need for that, or just settle it like men. But there's no need for anything like that to be happening because we all grew up together. Like we all got loved ones that care for each other. We all are connected in some shape or form, based if it's a relative somewhere down the line or a teacher we knew, or you know what I mean, a parent, or somebody. We all know each other, so we gotta do better as a community.
Yeah, definitely. And with that, we are out of here, and we'll see y'all next week. And we'll probably be in the studio next week, so we're gonna try our.
Or maybe a store.
Yeah, we might be somewhere. But have a good day, everybody.